Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of my vlog on mental health. I'm talking about how parenting has affected us over our childhood into our adulthood. So, thanks to everyone who's watched so far. I appreciate all the feedback. It's generally been so helpful, whether it be on content or anything, videography, visuals, everything, whether it be using a halo light. It's been so helpful. I'm not the most creative guy, so I do appreciate everything you've given back to me. If you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe. The aim of this is to help someone or help someone relate to this and overcome their demons as I have. When I do a lot of shout outs now, I have to. These are my friends and family that are involved in these projects. Firstly, ProSmart, Essex Boolyard, Mr. Peace Corner Shop, Shruti_art, Grandeur Diamonds, By Alkindi, Evolve Drinks, Whiteway Fitness, Power Up Supplements, Asia Teak in Ilford, London Detailing Centre, Fat Cafe, Millennial Money, and Prime Gen. Awesome stuff there. We got food, jewelry, supplements, physical well-being, beard oil, custom artwork, American Candy, an XL Bully puppy, money advice, or I know comfort food. It's all there. Check them out. Instagram handles are in the bio, in the section below. But yeah, if you've got time, follow them. They all produce great content. So I've got more personal videos with some advice. Sorry, not advice, but videos detailing signs of depression, how to deal with depression. It's my Dealing with Depression series. Part 1 came out last week. If you haven't, check out already. But today I'm going over things my parents have said that affected me over the years and could have affected you. It's a bit funny, a little bit tragic. Hopefully we'll cry or laugh together. It is what it is. So let's crack on. Firstly, I can attest to this being compared to other kids. If you have had this, you know what I'm talking about. We've all been compared to a friend or a cousin, no matter what we do, or even a sibling. The issue is, it's done repeatedly without thinking. You're compared for your academics, even if you're trying your absolute best. I was consistently compared for my weight. This is horrible growing up, but I grew up and having eating disorders, and to this day, I've just started to fix my relationship with food and become more healthy with it. It got so extreme that my mum and dad used to watch movies and compare me to the character on the screen and be like, well, yeah, I want to be like that, but how do I get there? I remember watching Harry Potter 2 and my dad compared me to Daniel Radcliffe on screen, and I remember going home and not enjoying the film because of how that guy looked and carried himself on screen. Obviously, as I grew up, you realise it's a fictional character and you shouldn't be comparing yourself to these things. What it gave me was, 1, an eating disorder, 2, self-esteem issues. It took me a long time to work through that. Big part of it, I shout her out a lot, but Shruti, my partner, top lady, helped me overcome it and fix a lot of these issues, as it were. This is a big thing for me. I don't know if it is for you. Under praise, under reward. Parents, ethnic parents especially, are known for turning a blind eye to kids' success. It's as if public exam results, what uni you go to, and what degree you graduate with is the only thing that matters. Sport, unless you're at national or pro level, there's no real praise for it. Music, until you're grade 8, no one really cares. They won't tell us they're proud of these achievements, but they'll tell everyone else, which is weird. My dad told me my boxing performance was subpar, but somehow told his friends he was part of my coaching team and the reason for my success. This kind of leaves us having validation issues as children and adults. What's sad is you have mummy and daddy issues despite having a mum and dad. I know this leads people to look for validation in friendships or in bad relationships, and we don't separate from these people because we're constantly seeking that validation. The only way we overcome it is by just snapping to one day and realizing I have to be proud of what I achieve, not what anyone else thinks, even if it is my mum and dad. It's a sad truth. Now, I know if you're from a BAME background, you can relate to this, and if you're not and you still do, well, this is a tough one. Have you ever heard the line, "What will others think?" If you have, you know that our parents or your parents care more about what society thinks of them and us than our own happiness. I was raised in a way that our parents seem to value the opinions of others rather than what made us happy. I'm going to be very clear. I spent years measuring steps and doing what society would consider the right thing. But I can clearly say fuck that. Fuck society and their stupid, ridiculous expectations. Sap your energy and sap your happiness. It ruins people. There's stupid expectations on stuff like arranged marriages, not pursuing a certain type of career, the stigma attached to divorce or separation, being a single mum, not being married at a certain age, not having kids at a certain age. These things will ruin your life and can genuinely burst the bubble that is your happiness. But you have to ask yourself, and I did, why are you worried about people that have no input in your life? These people do not put a penny in your account and do not put food on your table. So in the humblest of ways, go fuck yourself and go to find something better than judging me for my decisions. There's, especially from an Asian background, you always hear I've heard this line before, he couldn't face society, so he killed himself. Are you willing to put society's judgment over the value of your life? If you are, then you need to reevaluate your priorities as a person and not push them onto your children. If your parents are pushing it onto you, you realise that you are your own individual. Go out and do whatever the fuck you want to do. Sorry about the bad language. Something I'm really passionate about, something that pisses me off even to this day because I keep hearing it in 2021. Over criticism and over punishment. Anyone who knows me know I have a super strict dad. Goes without saying, my dad is probably one of the sternest Asian men you'll see. Bald, glasses, quite broad. Son, you must do as I say. Anyway, jokes aside, I feel a lot of parents, especially ethnic parents, overreact to things children do and they go way too far with the punishment. Firstly, I feel parents punish kids and don't tell their kids what they did wrong. Punishment could be sitting on the naughty step or being whacked with a coat hanger. I'm not going to say what I got. Don't want this to blow back on me or my parents. But the majority of the time, the correction or the punishment is what doesn't correlate to the problem. Some of my most confusing times as a kid was the punishments I got. I didn't understand what I was getting punished for. It just seems like whatever I did, I got in trouble. So I just stopped doing anything and became a recluse, even at school, in case my teacher said something to my dad and my dad didn't like it. So you know what happened? You struggle to have a conversation with your partner, and Shruti will attest to this. You don't lie, you just admit things that you believe will get you in trouble with your partner, which annoys the hell out of them and gives them trust issues. When really and truly, you're so messed up from what your parents overpunished you for that telling this stuff to your partner doesn't get you in trouble. They just, well, yeah, I know this is something you don't like or something you like to do, so let's do it. I've worked my way out of this just by saying, you know what, you're going to judge whatever I do anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. If you don't like it, that's on you, bro. Crack on. Simple as that. This is something that I am going to say maybe not everyone had, but I had. There is no value on rest or recovery. There certainly wasn't for me over some certain holidays. Growing up, a holiday wasn't a holiday to me. That's going to sound weird, especially during the school time. It was a chance to get academically ahead. I remember on holiday to India for 2 months. In that 2 months, my dad got me a maths tutor in India. Yeah, just on holiday, right? I wasn't getting ahead, as it were. He just wanted me to be more ahead than I was. Bearing in mind, at 13, I already sat my GCSE maths, so I don't know what he thought, maybe get a degree before I finish my A-levels. You'd be surprised if you met this man. Honestly, I love my dad, but I'm just talking about stuff that, as a kid, we weren't in sync with. Now we are. We've had these chats. But by the time I got to A-levels in uni, I hated academic work. I hate hearing about it. I was exhausted of it. I just did it because what would society think? And now I found the passion to study. I've realised that no one can force it on me. And it's only if I incorporate rest and recovery that I can succeed in these academic pursuits at 27 years old, whether it be a master's or professional qualifications. I have to incorporate rest into my training, my vlogging, building entrepreneurial schemes, as well as studying. So I can't reiterate the value of rest, otherwise you'll crash and everything takes a downhill turn. Our parents are too risk averse as well. So for some reason, parents believe academic success is the key to freedom and wealth. To an extent, that is true. Looking back at it as a 27-year-old, I've learned the merits of becoming an entrepreneur, as well as working in your regular 9 to 5. Unless you're a hedge fund manager or a fund manager of some kind, you're not making the insane amounts your parents think you can make. with that, top level education. I mean, you can make good money, but not 1% wealthy. So it's just now I've started to develop this entrepreneurial mindset. And I believe this is something that we need to address, that there's overvaluation of the academic system, and there's a misunderstanding that stability is equal to success. I genuinely believe that stability isn't equal to success. Stability can lead to stagnation. Stagnation can actually lead to you taking a step backwards because everyone is going forwards by pursuing other avenues. So if anyone shoots down an idea, you have a side project, a side hustle, crack on. Because first they'll ask you, why are you doing it? And then when you succeed, they'll ask you how you're doing it. Keep that in mind, crack on, blur out the white noise, take on that positive feedback, take on that constructive criticism, keep pursuing your dreams on top of everything else you're doing. This is ridiculous. It's something that I can't really touch on because I'm not a woman, but sexism in parenting. I've seen the ridiculous things mentioned to my sister or my cousins as they're just because they're women. I can't speak for women. I'm not a woman. I can't put myself in their shoes, but it's utter bullshit. If you're a woman listening to this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The way it's affected me is the way I talk about parenting with Shruti. Shruti's my partner. I ended up having double standards, just like my parents did. And I have to snap out of it. And I had to snap out of it when I have this conversation with her. And I have to have the presence of mind to practice equality. And if you're listening and you're going to become a parent, or you've just become a parent, please do the same. Don't impose double standards on a son or a daughter. Raise them as equals. Otherwise, your daughter will grow up to think that she doesn't have the right to the same successes or same privileges her brother or a partner does. And your son will grow up thinking that he is better than a female colleague or a female, classmate. And we don't want that. We want an equal society. Last one's quite touchy, so I won't go too deep into it. We're taught religion and prejudice. They go hand in hand. We're born into a religion that we're told we should follow, and we're told others are wrong. This is shocking. We don't get to choose religion we commit to, or even if we want to reject religion altogether. I know some friends that have. But can you imagine hitting 25 years old and losing faith in something you're forced to believe? You'll fall into existential depression. If you don't know what that is, check out video 3. I'm not going into it now. We're also taught prejudice. You can't, we if you're like me, you were told as a young kid, you can't trust this race, people who follow this religion. And by the time we get to school, we're already making social decisions based on this bullshit prejudice. I was lucky that I went to a multi-faith, multicultural school and I broke out of this. And this is something that I'm proud of, that my friendship group is so diverse. But my best mate and head coach, Brad, he's white from the Midlands. I just trained there with a German and Danish guy, and his wife is Russian with a Californian accent. My partner is Malayali, I'm Tamil. My best mate's a Bengali Muslim, Pakistani Muslim, Punjabi Sikh, and that's because I cracked out this mindset and decided to become a more integrated member of society and someone who will approach a person without prejudice and without racism, because I wouldn't like it if someone approached me like that. So what can we do? This has been a short video, and it has been because I feel like I want to share past experiences and go over things that we can do as people to overcome these demons and overcome these issues that our parents could have given to us. First, I think I'd say is have presence of mind. We know some of the stuff we're told inherently is rubbish, so we consistently need to process our decisions and thoughts. I know it's super hard, it's not going to happen overnight, but we need to as individuals, and I'll tell you why. It's because we have to be better than our parents, and our parents did a fantastic job, whether you are British English or you are first generation from immigrant parents. We have to be better. We have to integrate and pass on better messages to the next generation. It's quite funny, I was listening to Russell Peters the other day and he said something, and I'm just going to reword it. So, Sri Lanka and India have become modern nations since my parents left. My parents left in 1990. Even though Sri Lanka's in 2021, their mindset is in 1990. And this is what I was saying before, we have to be better because we have to provide for the next generation a mindset so open that they can embrace society and all of the curveballs it throws. And they have to have open hearts and minds, because we're so divided now, and also divided has caused such horrible conflict, racism, separationist, nationalism. We have to overcome that. Otherwise, we failed. We failed as we're the generation meant to fix the world. I don't mean just in race and religion, but in climate change. And we can't do that if we're separate and we judge each other. We need to be together. And secondly, some of the stuff that our parents did to us, they didn't do intentionally. And I'm telling you they did it, because a parent's primary function is to love and nurture. And they've done it the best way they can, because they've been taught and passed on messages and thoughts from their parents. So it's up to us to filter out what is positive, throw away the negative, pass on the positive, and use the better understanding of the world to educate the generation following us. I know it's a bit of a whirlwind, but thanks for listening. This one's been 16 minutes, last one 80 minutes. They're getting shorter. Maybe I can do this in 5-minute videos, but we'll see. I don't think I can, unless I talk really fast and take like double espressos. That grumbling sound, my dog is sleeping under my chair and he is snoring. The other one's over there snoring, so any grumbling or snoring, that's those guys. Hopefully Rocky and Dutch can feature in some future videos. But thank you for listening. Like I said, please share, like, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay COVID free.